Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is my channel Ladybug Stitches. Today is October 23rd and this is Flosstube number 34. It has been 2 months since my last video and I'm very sorry for that. Life has been very busy and chaotic lately and I haven't had the time to come on here and make a video for you guys. But don't worry, I have been doing a lot of stitching, I've been doing a lot of crafting and a lot of buying as well. So today I'm going to start with my new releases for the year, for the fall season. If you don't know, if this is your first time watching my videos, I design cross-stitch patterns and I release them as PDFs on my Etsy shop, and I also have some paper patterns that are available to local needlework shops, and if you're interested in getting any of them, contact your LNS and they can get the pattern for you. I'm going to show first the release that I think I've showed in my last video. His name is Scarecrow Sam. Here is the paper pattern. And here is Sam. I think he's just the cutest little thing. I finished this one into a little pillow and it's stitched on some orange and green fabric that I dyed myself with all DMC flosses, so it's easy and economical, and you probably already have some of these flosses in your stash. I used this fabric as the backing piece. And for the sides, I used an orange cording and a little decorative trim that I stacked on top of each other. So it adds that little extra little bit there. And if you're interested, I just glued this on. I don't care to sew it on. I just want quick and easy, and I just hot glue them on, and I think that works the best for me. But here is Scarecrow Sam. And then I don't think you have seen this one yet. This is the neighborhood. It is a spooky little neighborhood. We've got a ghost and some bats and some dead guests that live down there. So it's a little bit bigger than the Scarecrow Sam. I believe it is, yes, 5x5 on 14 count. This is just a dark gray that I dyed, and it is using DMC flosses as well. And for the back, I chose this spiderweb fabric, and for the side, it is a spider trim. I love using this spider trim. I try to use it on a lot of my Halloween stuff. And then on the headstones, it says RIP and 1823 to 1878. So, and there's a little pumpkin down at the bottom and some candles for the deceased. I really love how this one turned out. I think it's cute. I haven't even put it out in my Halloween stuff because this is a new release, very new release that I haven't been able to put out yet. But it is available now in paper and PDF if you're interested. So all of that is linked down below. And then, since I don't know when my next video is gonna be, I have a new release. It is a freebie pattern. It is not out yet. I haven't even gotten pictures of it yet. But a heads up that it will be coming out. It is my new fabric, oh my God. My mouth is not working today. A new freebie pattern. These are my wordy freebies, that's what I've been calling them. So this one is just Gather. I have a lot of these little freebies. They're all on my blog if you're interested, which is linked down below. I have a lot of these freebies for a lot of different holidays and seasons. And this is my second go around of a couple different holidays. So I'm pretty sure I have one for everything now, hopefully. But yeah, this is Gather. This will be released in November as soon as I can get some pictures taken. I haven't had the time for that. But if you want to know when it's released, you can sign up for my email newsletter. I haven't done one in quite a while, but I do try to put them out every now and then when I have something to share. So you can sign up for that on my blog. If you go to my blog, there's a little thing on the side that says you can sign up for it, and all you have to do is type in your email. And you'll be notified of when I have some things out. I don't post everything, unfortunately. And then that also leads me into, I started a Facebook page. I have an Instagram account. If anybody wants to follow me on Instagram, I I'm really not the best with posting on social media, and I'm even worse at commenting on people's stuff, but if you want to follow me there, I do try to post every now and then. So my Instagram is ladybug.stitches, and then my Facebook page, it's not a group, so it's just a page that you can follow me on. It is called Ladybug Stitches, and then there's a dash, and it's cross stitch designs, and I'll put that down below as well. I just started it like last weekend, so I don't have a lot on there, but if you want to follow me on there, I will post when I have my freebies available. So there's 3 different spots that you can find when I post my freebies and I post my new releases. So you can check them out if you're interested. If you're not, it doesn't bother me anyway. So those are my new releases. Let me put them on the ground because I don't have a lot of room. And then I just finished another new release. It is my winter release. And I think this might be my favorite pattern I've ever done so far. And I'm going to show you a little bit of a sneak peek. I think it turned out so well. I dyed the fabric myself because I knew what I wanted and I knew that I could do it myself. So I did it myself and I love the way it turned out. And I love how all the DMC flosses, it is 4 flosses, it's super easy. 2 of them are 310 and Blanc, so I know you guys have those. And I really love the way the colors pop off of the fabric, and I am just so excited to get this one framed up. This one is the first one that I'm actually going to frame that are of my designs, and I bought a frame specific for this pattern, and I'm just a little worried that it's not going to fit in the frame, but I have to try that out soon. But I'm so happy with the way this one turned out. I'll just give you another little sneak peek at it. You can see another sneak peek on my Instagram as well. I think I posted it to my Facebook too, but there's a little sneak peek. So excited about that one. And I think those are all of my Ladybug Stitches stuff that I had to share. Now we will go into FFOs. So I have been FFOing and finishing things like crazy. One of my goals for this year, which I didn't realize until I was halfway through the year, was that I wanted to finish as many whips as I possibly could finish, because I'm just not happy with the amount of whips that I have. So I've been trying to pull some stuff out and get as much done as I possibly can. And I got a good amount done. I think I have 19 whips right now, and when I did my mid-year whip update, whip parade, I think that was in June, I think, and I think I had 24 whips at the time. So I am down to 19, which is not much of a difference, but I am very happy with where I am because a lot of the whips that I have left are really big, or they're part of a series, so there's a whole bunch of whips in one bag. But I'm really happy with where I am at right now, and I'm gonna keep trying to push for the end of the year to see as many as I can get done, but I don't know that I'm really gonna get any more done this year, which I'll talk about in my plans for this year. But let's get into some FFOs and finishes, and then I also have some crafty FFOs that I have too, which I think I'm going to start with those because they're on top. So one of the, actually, no, I don't. Yes, I do have it. It was on this one, on my freebie, my Gather freebie. On the trim, I guess I forgot to show you this finish, but it is a pillow with that fabric. And then this trim is a homemade cording that I made myself from natural resources. This is the second time that I've done this. I did this, I don't think it was last year, it might have been the year before, maybe. Or maybe it was last year, I can't remember anymore. But I make some of my own natural cording because I apparently like to get into a lot of different crafts, and I have this need to make things myself. So this is some natural cording made out of daylily. I think it's daylilies. I could be wrong. I can't remember. It is a flowering grassy plant at my aunt's house who lives right next door. So I just go over and I steal the dead leaves. which she's totally fine because otherwise she would have to get rid of them herself. So I take them and I pretty much braid them into this cording. It is super easy to do once you know what you're doing. Very quickly, you just take 2 strands and you twist them. And then once you twist them enough, it'll make a little loop. And then if you've ever done a braid that's 2 strands twisting the same way, but then you loop them the other way. I don't, twist braids maybe, if that's what it's called. It's basically a twist braid in a cording. And then you just kind of add some more strands as you go along. So it is a little bit timey, takes a while, and your fingers do hurt after a while, but it is so worth it. I was running low on my cording that I had made the last time I made it, so I wanted to get some more done this year. So that's daylily leaves, I believe. And then I tried to do it with grass leaves, like the really long grass. I had some growing in my garden and I thought I might as well try it. So this one, it looks rough because one, I haven't trimmed it yet. You have to trim down the sides, the ends of it. They stick out. And this one I haven't done that to yet. And I'm also not as happy with this one because grass is sticky. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that before, but if you ever touched like the really tall overgrown grass, the leaves are really sticky. So this was hard to work with. The grass kept breaking, so it's not the best thing to use. And it ended up looking like this. It is a giant mess. I haven't rolled it up, and like I said, I haven't trimmed it yet. But I will still use this, and it was still a good project to try and see if there's anything else I can use. I don't think I'll do this one again. I really did not like how sticky it was. And yeah, so that is another one that I made. And then another craft that I did, which was a bit of a fail. I had seen on TikTok, these people were making acorns out of acorn tops and fabric. And I tried my hand at them. I very loosely watched the tutorial, and then that's how I kind of do things. I kind of very loosely watch a tutorial, and then I go, yeah, I can figure that out on my own. And half the time it works and half the time it doesn't work. But these are my little acorns. I don't like the puckering. If you can see, it's really hard to see. The puckering underneath, that did not work for me. I didn't like that. I tried a smaller one. It's still kind of puckering. And I don't like how flat they are. They don't look like acorns to me. I'll try these again sometime. If you guys have ever made these before, maybe you can leave me some tips. I just used a piece of circle fabric and then I stitched around it and pulled it tight with some stuffing in the middle of it. And then I hot glued it to the bottom of the acorn top. I have a ton of acorn tops left to use, so I'll try something else, but these were making me really mad and I just gave up for the day when I was working on these. So a little bit of a fail, but it was worth a try. The other thing that I did make with acorn tops, this was a couple years ago, was I had these wooden beads, and these turned out really well. So it's just a wooden bead, and then I just popped that into the top of the acorn and I glued it down. And I have a bunch of these, and I really like the way these turned out, but I did run out of beads, so I only have like maybe 10 or something. But I'm really happy with the way they turned out, so I just wanted to see if I could find another way to make some acorns without buying some more beads. It didn't work. Oh well, we'll see. Okay, now onto stitchy whips, stitchy finishes. I will start with the two that I think are the most ta-da kind of ones. This one you saw me finish the stitching, but now I have it framed. And I'm so sorry, there is glass in this one, so I'm gonna try not to reflect. But this is 5 Kittens by Joy Sunday Cross Stitch. This is an antique frame that I found at my grandma's house. It was probably my great-grandma's picture frame. I think it was in her stuff, possibly. So this is metal, and then this is glass, and then this was a stamped cross-stitch kit, and so all this black is stitched, but this is a homemade mat. I had to get some scrapbook paper, and I cut the size of the glass, and then I cut out the inside, which is roughly the size of the picture inside. It's not perfect, but it is much better than it just being totally white on the edges. And I'm very happy with it, so that's all that matters. And I'm really happy to get this one hung up on the wall and done, and I can look at it more often, which I'm very happy about. So that is a finish, fully finish. And then this one is a finish and a fully finish. This is, do I have it? This is the Enchanted Realms Stitch Along by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This stitch along was from 2024, and it started January 25th and ended June 25th. Took me a lot longer to get that done. I had maybe 2 of the sections done by the time the stitch along ended, but whatever. And this is my finished piece. So this isn't actually glass, this is a plastic frame. There we go. I went for cheap over quality, and I definitely am paying for that a little bit. I don't like that it's plastic, but whatever. I also, when I got it, I don't know if you can see, it was really chipped here. So instead of going through the process of trying to return it and dealing with all that, I just painted over it. You can't even really tell when you're looking at it, so I think it's fine. But let me see if I can go in a little bit. So there's my finished piece. This is on a 14 count fabric that I dyed a couple different colors. It is like a teal and a purple and a green and a blue put on there. I really liked the way it turned out, and I'm really happy to get this one done. It's not fully done in the back. I usually try to tape these things down, but the tape, no matter what tape I used, it was not holding them down. So I think I have to sew around it. I think that's going to be my only option at this point, which I hate doing, but it's got to be done. And I'm really happy with this one. I'm so happy it's done. I'm so happy I can look at it on my wall now, and it is off my whip pile. But I really like the way it turned out as well. This is all DMC flosses. I think it's all the called for. So I love the way that one turned out. Let's see. I also had another finish, which it was a surprise. I couldn't tell you guys about it. I stitched a little pillow for Wendy's Whimsical Stitches. She is on YouTube, and you can also find her on Instagram. I didn't take a picture of the project before I shipped it off, but this is what it looks like. It is a little pillow. It's from Lizzie Kate Spring Smalls. I have stitched all 4 of these already, and I stitched this one for Wendy. I used a pink fabric and some flosses that I pulled, and then I added a red trim around the outside and some of my homemade cording to the outside as well. So that one took way too long for me to stitch for some reason, but I think it turned out really well, and I hope you enjoyed it, Wendy. But yeah, so that was something else I couldn't share with you guys, but that is done. And this one is a finish again, I guess. So in my last video, I had said I had trouble with this finish because this is part of a series by Shepherd's Bush. This one is Scattered Freedom. I have done a couple other ones in this series, and I have finished them all into this little wooden box, and they have all sat snugly inside of there. And then I didn't realize This one is too big for the box, but I had already cut the fabric for the back and had already made that. All I had left to do was to glue this piece onto it, and then I realized it didn't fit. And I decided I was just going to add some cardboard and let it sit out like that. And then underneath, I stuffed these little picks, these little flower picks, in the red, white, and blue colors. And they're just glued in there underneath. And I'm happy with the way this turned out. So it all worked out, and I'm glad that I just kept going with it and didn't give up. I added these little stars as well. They call for a bunch of different kinds of buttons, and I didn't want to buy those buttons, so I just used some little stars that I already had, and I just glued them on. I don't care to go through the process of trying to sew them on. I just hot glued them on. That's mostly what I do. Always, I just hot glue things on. It's quick and easy. But I'm really happy with the way that one turned out, so I can finally put this one away. I think I have, the only other one I have in this series is the Scatter Pumpkins one. There's also the Christmas one. It's like Scatter Christmas Spirit, maybe? Something like that. I have to get that one. There's also Scatter Sunshine, which I would really like to get. And I'm not sure what other ones there are. There aren't too many. I've done maybe half of them. I did Scatter Freedom. I did Scatter Hearts and something, and the Scatter Eggs and Chocolate Bunnies. And this one's Scatter Freedom and Peace. So I have one more that I actually have with me, and then I have to get the rest. But I'm not going crazy with this series. I'm just doing them if I have them. Okay, another finish. This one's another fully finish. I have my basket full of finishes in here. I don't know if that just cut out. Hopefully not. It still says it's going. I just had a notification come up. I will check it back later. But this, I said in my last video that I wanted to get this one worked on, and I got it finished. This is Holiday Pickups by Designworks Crafts. This is a kit that my grandma had gave me, and she asked that I split it with my cousin, so we pretty much split it down the middle. I cut up all the fabric, which is a plastic canvas, and I split up all the flosses, so it was pretty even. I think she said she was going to do the blue ones, and I was going to do the red ones. I asked her if she had been working on hers, and she gave up on one of hers because she didn't like the plastic canvas. So she probably will not be stitching any more of these, and I think I decided that I probably won't be stitching any more either. But I am giving myself the option if I want to go back to it later. I just did this one. I'm not too keen on the snowmen because I usually do snowmen separate from Christmas. Snowmen is a January thing instead of a Christmas thing. So then I would only want to do the Christmas tree, which I really do like the Christmas tree. And I'm giving myself the option of keeping everything in a bag and just putting it on my shelf and not leaving it as a whip. Because if I leave it as a whip, then it's going to stress me out until I get it done, and I don't want to force myself to work on it. So I have the option if I want to in the future go back to this project. I can, absolutely. The problem also, I don't have a lot of floss left for it. I could ask my cousin maybe if she doesn't want it anymore, but I'm not sure. But this is an option. So I did the Christmas presents, and this is how it turned out. So I finished it into a little ornament because of course I did. I love having little Christmas ornaments, which I will talk about later. This is on plastic canvas, so I cut it out and then I put the felt on the back, and then Wendy from Wendy's Whimsical Stitches had given me these, Wendy, you keep telling me what they're called and I can never remember. I think they're like, are they C-clips or I don't know why I can never remember this. But there's that little clip, and then there's a 2025 charm on there as well. And then I just stuck this little ribbon thing in there. I don't know what you want to call it. It came in a pack of Christmas ribbons, and it was like 3 little like cordings, I guess, twisted all together. And then I untwisted them all just so I can have them even. Not even. Like I said, my brain and my mouth are not working today. It has been a while since I filmed a video, so anyway, I untwisted it, so now I have 3 of these individually, but that's my truck. Also, the other problem with the trucks was it came in one big sheet of plastic canvas, and I had a really hard time cutting it into 6 even pieces, enough that we have room to stitch them all. So I'm not sure if I should have stitched them all on like the whole thing together and then kind of like put them like overlapping almost. I don't know how they expected me to stitch these on the amount of fabric that they had given me, or canvas that they had given me. So there is one stitch on every single one, that one row that I can't stitch because I don't have enough room. And I think I just left off the 1 row of taillights on the back, which I don't think you even need. It did not, no, you can't really tell at all. So that was kind of annoying, but it kind of worked out. So it's fine. But there's my little pickup truck. This is, I chose the red ones because my grandpa had a red truck that he really loved. And after he passed, my mom used it for doing hay still. And once we sold the farm and sold all the equipment, we also sold the truck as well. And it just reminds me of my grandpa's truck. So I really wanted to do the red one. So I'm really happy. This is my first Christmas ornament of the year. Yay, so exciting. And like I said, I'll talk more about Christmas ornaments when I get to plans. There you go. Okay, let me put these back so I can work on this again one day if I want to. I think I might, but I'm not positive, so I'm just leaving it up to future me to decide. And we have another fully finished. This is a finish and a fully finish. This is a Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting freebie pattern. This is the spring. I have the paper in one of these bags that I'll show you later as well. This one's supposed to be spring, and I decided to turn it into 4th of July because I had added the red to the quilt in the back, and it was a very bright red, and I decided that's not really springy, so I just decided to put it into 4th of July stuff. So then I changed the flowers down here to be red, white, and blue, and the quilt up there is red, white, and blue as well. And I think everything else is the same. I stitched this on a green 14 count Aida, and I made it into a pillow. Of course, I really like doing pillows. They're nice and quick and easy. This is a fake denim fabric for the back, just as a red, white, and blue kind of thing. And then I added a green rickrack to the side. Just super simple, super quick, easy finish. And now I have 2 more 4th of July pieces, so I'm pretty sure next year I can have a solely 4th of July display, which is very exciting because I haven't been able to do that, and I think I finally have enough pieces that I'm able to do that. So I will be looking forward to that next year. But I really liked this. This is part of a series, and I will talk about that again later, like I said. This is a, let's see, I hope it didn't just mess it up again. I keep getting too many notifications on this phone. So sorry about that. I've never got that in the middle of a video before, but it's still recording and I should be okay. Anyway, I really like this series because it does remind me of my grandparents' farm. This is a lot like my grandma's house. It looks a lot like her house. And then again, we have the red truck. We had a tree out in the yard that we always climbed in, and then there was another tree that we always hung outdoor swings from. And then my grandma didn't quilt, but she did have like a clothesline right out in the front yard too. And then the chickens, she had chickens, of course. They were not out in the house, but they were up in the barn. So that does remind me of her house, and I really love this piece. So that is another finish and fully finish. And then I have one left that is just a finish. It is not a fully finish, but it's my second ornament of the year, my second Christmas ornament of the year. This is another Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting freebie pattern that you can find on her blog. She has this little series of ornaments that all kind of look like this, where they have like a little scene, and then they have a bow and some like branches coming off at the top, and then there's a word down at the bottom. So I'll just briefly show you like that. And then this is my finish of it. So she has a lot of these where it's like this up top, and then there's a different word down at the bottom, and then there's a little scene in the middle. I think I've done 2 other ones of this series, and there's like, gosh, like 5 more at least. I would love to do them all one day. I just haven't been able to get to them all. I'm kind of taking them slow. But yeah, so this is on I think 14 count Aida that I coffee tea dyed, or it could be, no, I'm pretty sure it's a 14 count. It looks like a 14 count. And then I used some flosses that I had, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, for the back stitching, I'm pretty sure I did 2 strands for some reason, but I think he's really cute. I will probably turn this, well, I'm not going to say probably. Usually I would turn this into a little pillow ornament, but I might not this year. I have a lot of stuff that I have to go through and like use up some of my finishing pieces, so I might do something different with this. I'm not sure. I will finish all of my ornaments at once when I go through them all. I'm not going to just do one at a time, so this will be something I will stitch later on or finish later on. But this is my second Christmas ornament for the year, and I'm very excited about that. Okay, so those are all my finishes. We're half an hour in. That was a lot. We'll put that down there with the massive pile. I am drinking apple cider today. It is the best thing about fall, I think. It's very good. Okay, in my last video, I had asked you guys if I should do a new start, and if so, which one should I start? I can't even remember the other one that I wanted to start, but I started one. I decided that I had gone enough through my whips, and I was able to start something new. So I started Thanksgiving Comes Again by the Prairie Schooler, and I'm doing this big piece here. I absolutely love this piece so much, and I did not get very far on it, but here's where I'm at. I started in the middle, and I'm using the Called for DMC flosses, and this is a 14 count coffee tea dyed Aida that I did myself. And I think part of the reason I haven't been working on this as much is the Aida is really stiff from the coffee tea. I'm not really sure what happened, and it's kind of sharp, which is kind of silly to say because it's fabric, but this piece, every time I flip to go to the back, I hit my face on this piece for some reason. So it just kind of kept annoying me, and it's really stiff still. So I haven't been working on this one as much, but I am a product stitcher, so I'm just looking forward to the end piece. So I'm trying to get myself through this one. I thought the words would be really quick to stitch, but they're not, because I have to keep changing flosses. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but fields and grain are a different color from the other words that are on there. So I have to keep changing flosses, and I'm just kind of going all different ways. I'm not like going in order or anything. So yeah, which is why I have 2 little letters down here, and I haven't finished the T up here, but I'm super excited about this piece. I think I might frame it, honestly, if I can't find a piece to finish it on. But that is my new start. And let me put this out of the way. I really like this new bag I have too. My Scarecrow bag. I had started making a whole huge batch of project bags like back in the spring, I think it was. And I still haven't had time to like fully finish all of them, but there was like, I finished like half of them like a couple months ago. And this is one of the ones I finished, and I made it the size of this pattern so that I can actually put the pattern in this bag, which I really wanted. So that is my new start. Okay, and then we're going into whips. So since I finished my new model that I showed you a little sneak peek of, I finished that this morning. I am working on another model that I had to stop to work on that one. This one won't be out until next year, late next year. And I can't tell you more about that yet, but I am looking forward to some things happening next year. But this is what I'm working on, and I'll show you the other ones that I have finished. Well, that one's almost done, and that one, and that one. So little sneak peeks of what new releases you'll get next year. But that's what I'm gonna pull out next. So those are that's my model whip. And then I pulled out, these are also in no other order. Pretty much the only order is what was the biggest bag on the bottom, pretty much. I pulled out Nature's Journey by Sprouting Lupine. I'm still on the spring section. This is in the Just Cross Stitch magazine for spring, I believe. Yes, spring 2025. And I'm still up here in the first section, but that's okay. It is a big piece and I'm taking my time with it. This is on an 18 count, I think. Ooh, yeah, I think this is an 18 count Coffee Tea Dye Ada. And I'm almost done with the first section. So all I have left is finishing the flowers up here in the tree. I've started this big flower here, and then I have to finish this flower. There's another flower or two over here. There's some leaves, and then there's a butterfly up here, I believe. So I'm pretty close to finishing this one, which I'm really excited about. And then I think my favorite section of this one is probably the fall one. I really love the colors of the fall ones, so I'm trying to get to that point. This spring one didn't really do much for me, but I really like the other seasons, so I really had to get through this one, of course. It's gorgeous, don't get me wrong. I really like the snail down here, but the spring colors don't really do anything for me. I really like the autumn colors. I'm sure you guys can find some pictures online, but oh, I can show you actually in my haul because I have the autumn magazine in my haul, but that's where I'm at. I would like to get maybe the spring done by the end of the year. That would be really nice, but I'm also not pushing myself. I'll get to it when I get to it. Let me put this away. I'm using Called for DMC on this one, so, and I'm not a fan of this bag. Like I said, that's why I had to make bags that fit like bigger patterns, because this magazine does not fit in any of my other bags, so I gotta make some more, but this is in that bag. It doesn't even close. This is another ornament that I had started this year. I literally started this one yesterday. This is another pattern by Melissa at Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. It's called Prim Little Rudolph, and it's from November 28th, 2023, and that's a little picture of it. This one is teeny tiny. It's done on a Zweigart 28 count sand Quaker. And I was gonna do this 2/2, but I was looking at the amount of brown floss that I had, and I did not have enough floss to be able to do the whole thing. So I did it over 1 with 1 floss, 1/1. And he is teeny tiny. He is so small. Like, here's my finger. He is teeny tiny. And I think he's really cute, but it's kind of hard to see. But I think it'll turn out really cute. So, I'm working on that one. I would have been a little bit farther on this one, but I need to get a highlighter to highlight some of this stuff so I can figure out where I am in the head. And then I also have to grab a white and a black floss because for some reason I didn't put that in my bag. My little fancy bag that I have here. So that's where I'm at on that one. So that is technically my 4th ornament this year because I have another one that I'm going to show you that I started before this one. So for my ornaments this year, I'm keeping them all in this bag. It's empty right now, but they're all kitted up individually in like little sandwich bags. And then as I pull them, I can put them in this bag. So in this bag will be my scissors and a black and a white because I don't supply them in my bags as much because I don't have as much black and white. So that is my ornament bag for this year. So I guess that's also a new start, technically. Whatever. I also pulled out, this is something I haven't worked on since May 2024, which was part of my Whip Mania projects. This is Jack's Sweet Shop Siren's Tart by Plum Street Samplers. And I got a lot more done on this one. When I pulled it out, I had just a little bit of the tail, just that dark purpley reddish pinkish color. I just had a little, like maybe half of that tail done. So I finished the tail, I added all the light pink inside, and then I did the skin, and then I'm working on some of these like algae plants growing over here. I might be done with this one for the year. I'm not positive yet. I might pull it back out. I don't know yet. But this is something that would be quick and easy to get done for my trying to whip down a little bit. This is on a 14 count blue and maybe brown, purple, something like that. I dye all my fabric. So usually when I'm dyeing fabric, I do big batches of fabric and I just kind of toss things on and I don't really mark what I'm doing too well. I write down what I put on most of them, but I don't write down which fabrics I put it on. So I have like a list of fabrics that it could be. But to me, that looked like it was like an aqua with either brown or purple on top. So I really like the way she's turning out. And I would like to get her done. She will be on the chopping block to get done if I want something to get done soon. So very happy with that one. That one I'm not using called for flosses. I'm just using what I have. So I don't have a lot of each floss, which is okay. Then I also pulled out Double Double by the Prairie Schooler. This was another Whip Mania start for 2024. And I actually got quite a lot done with this one. This is where I'm at. This is on a orange and green fabric that I dyed. And I am just using flosses that I have. But the problem is my black floss is an older floss. It is this one. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is an older floss, back when it was 20 cents. Let's see. I'm not sure which brand it is. Anyway, so I'm hoping that it's the same kind of black as 310 because I'm gonna run out before I finish this project for sure. But when I picked this back up, all I had done was this white strand and like that much of the witch up top here. And I didn't even have her hat finished. So I finished the whole witch. I added this bat up here and then I started in on this border on the side. And I'm going to move on to that little skull that's right next to that lizard over there. So the witch was quite a grind and I'm not looking forward to having to do another witch, but that's why I'm kind of saving her for a little bit. I'm going to try to get some of that border done first, and then I'll go over do it and do her. But yeah, I'm really happy with how far I got on this one, and I probably will be pulling this one out a couple more times because it's really nice that it's just pretty much one color. There's also like a orange and a white, which like this color, but it's really hardly anything, so it's mostly just black. And I'm really happy with the way this one is turning out. So I pulled that one out quite a few times. And I only have one more whip. It felt like not a lot of whips, but it's because I had a lot of finishes. I'm so sorry if I keep hitting my phones. I pulled out Santa's Helpers by Charlene Hugh. This is an older pattern from 1980, and it is a bunch of elves working in Santa's workshop. I am doing these as little ornaments. These are my ornament projects. Last year I did 2 of them. I believe I did this guy here holding the bear, and then I think I did the tricycle down here. I'm pretty sure I did the tricycle. And now I'm working on this little guy here with the ball, and I'm almost done. It might be in here. Yeah, I am almost done. I have to go back and look at my other ones because I feel like I did the wrong skin color. I'm not positive though. I have to go back and look because that doesn't look right, but maybe it is. I don't know. They're all being stitched on a different color fabric. So like I have all these different colors here. And I have marked which one is which, so I know, and because they're all cut to a different size as well. So it very well be that I could use the right skin color. I just, it looks different because it's on a different fabric than the other ones were on. So all I have left on this one is the ball. Yeah, I think it's just the ball left. I have to do the other side of the ball, and then the middle is 2 different colors. And then I think it calls for outlining it or backstitching it, but I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. It's kind of hard to see. I thought I just did his hat wrong, but I know I didn't. Oh, I have to finish his ears. I have to do some backstitching in his ears. And then he'll be done. And then I will be able to finish him into a little pillow ornament. So I have a couple more. I want to see if I can get all of these, the rest of these done this year. There's several left to do. Let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left to do. They're super quick though. I finished that one in like 2 nights, and I didn't even stitch very long those nights. So I'm gonna try to get these done so then I can get this one off on my whip list as well. I have one other whip that is a set of 10 little ornaments, and I have finished one of those ornaments as well, so it's 9 ornaments left. I would like to get those done as well if I can. They're very small, like maybe even less stitching than this one is. So I guess I'm gonna kind of go into ornament plans right now because I'm talking about it. If you are new to my videos, that's my chair making a squealing noise. It is an old chair. If you're new to my videos, I like to do an ornament frenzy every November and December. I've been doing this since 2018. I've started ornaments in 2018. I kind of been doing this consistently since then. So basically, sometimes I start in October, but I try to wait until November 1st, until December 31st, or whenever at the end of December that I decide that I'm done. I try to stitch as many little Christmas ornaments and little Christmas finishes as I possibly can. In the years past, I have done it where I have only stitched on Christmas ornaments and I haven't stitched on any other whips. I had to kind of change that in the past couple years. In 2022, I kind of didn't really stitch many ornaments at all, but I did stitch a couple, just because that was the way that year was going for different reasons. 2023, I had to make some exceptions for doing my model stitching still. And 2024, I kind of tried to bring it back a little bit more. But I also had to do some model stitching. So this year, I'm not sure what it looks like for me. I'm still definitely going to be doing some ornaments. I have a whole stack of ornaments that I want to show you that I kitted up or am going to be kitting up. So I am, at least since it's still October, I'm definitely going to be working on ornaments because I want to try to get as many ornaments done as I possibly can. Oh, if you're interested too, I have an ornament video. I posted it last year. It's, I think, like an hour and a half long, and I go through all of my Christmas ornaments and ornament-like finishes. I say ornament-like because they're ornament size, but I finished them into something different. I have a whole video about those ornaments. I'll try to link it down below if I remember. That is all of the ornaments that I have done since 2018. So if you're interested, you can go look at that. But you can see I didn't do last year's. I think I did maybe 2 ornaments in that video from last year, but I have more that I did last year. I am over 100 for sure. In that video, I think I just got to 100. I'm definitely over 100 now. And I am so excited to work on more ornaments this year. Like I said, it's still October. Typically, I don't let myself get into these ornaments until November 1st, but sometimes I just can't help myself. So I have done 1 so far. I have 1 more finished, and I'm working on 2 more, which will be both done pretty soon. And then I can show you the other ornaments that I have kitted up, or I think I just dropped an acorn behind me. I hit my little stand. I have some that are kitted up and some that I want to kit up. So kitting up for me, I have all the patterns already printed out except for 1. And then I'll cut the fabric and I will put flosses in, as much floss as I can get. Sometimes I run out of certain colors, so I just keep it in my ornament bag, which I showed you. And yeah, so some of these have been kitted up since last year, I believe. Either last year or the year before, so they've been kitted up for a while, and I'm going to tell myself that I have to get these done first, or most of them done first, because I'm tired of looking at them before I can move on to ones that I haven't kitted up yet. So this one is a series by Melissa at Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. She has a lot of freebie patterns, and I love all of them. I'm pretty sure I have almost every single one printed out, which is a whole nother story of why I printed them out and used that much ink and paper. But I have almost all of them printed out, at least all of the ones that I really want to stitch. And she did this series for Christmas. I think it's called Christmas on the Farm. And they all have this, I'll kind of like show like this. They all have this format where they're this stamp style outline. It is on the bottom too, and then there's a little picture in the middle. It's always Christmas themed and farm themed. So this is Santa riding on a cow with a tree in the background and some snow. So I checked, and I have almost every single one of these stitched. I think there's got to be like 20 to 30 different ornaments, and I have finished them in so many different ways. Like I said, you can go check out my ornament video to see all the different ways that I finished them. So I have this one left to do, and I have one more that I haven't kitted up yet. So this one is fully kitted, and I have kept most of the, I just dropped my scissors. I have kept most of the flosses that I've used for maybe half of this series. I try to do them all different because I like the variety, and I don't like tying myself down to having to use the same exact colors, and it's always different fabric. I forgot to show you the fabric. I'm always frightened about the fabric, so it's like a pinkish color. So that one's fully kitted. I'm definitely gonna get this one done this year. Then this one was pulled from a magazine, a virtual magazine that my library had access to. And I had originally picked this one because it is from the World of Cross Stitching. I'm not sure which one. Oh, Christmas 2021. Yes, Christmas 2021. Just the World of Cross Stitching magazine if you're interested. This has a whole bunch of different patterns on it. but I had pulled this one to stitch this little one up here. I'll just show you it real quick. It says Holly Jolly, and it's a robin on a holly bush, I suppose. This one was going to be a gift for one of my aunts, but I decided I did not want to do that anymore. So this is just a green fabric, 14 count. Have all the flosses in there, and I'm really tired of looking at this one, and it would be super quick. So I need to get this one done this year for sure. It would be super quick to do. I just never pull it for some reason. Another one is also from a magazine. It's from Cross Stitcher Magazine, November 2020. And I'll show you this. Hopefully you can see that. It's a little polar bear, and I pulled this because my mom really loves polar bears, and I wanted to stitch it for her. There's also a polar bear biscornu. I have an option to stitch that one. I don't know if I will, but it's still printed out, so I can do that. And I'm going to stitch it on this 14 count Aida that I dyed. I don't even know what color that is. Green, blue, I don't know. Have all the flosses. I reuse these bags, and some of these bags, let me just tell you, have been in circulation since I started cross stitching when I was about 7 or 8 years old. So they're pretty old. They're probably over 20 years old. But you know what? They still work for cross stitch. So I still use them. I think I put one of my first 2 cross stitch projects in these bags, and because it has the pattern written on the outside of the bag. But anyway, so I still use these bags over and over for my Christmas ornaments. Next we have Tree Farm by Hands On Design. I've stitched one of these so far. It is part of the White Christmas series. I stitched one. I don't even remember which one it was. It'll probably be in that video, if you want to go check that out and see what it is. I changed the colors on it. Hopefully these are the colors that I changed it to. So it's not, I'm not a fan of the blue, which is kind of ironic because I chose a blue, but anyway, I chose different colors that are more my colors. And I chose this blue Aida, 14 count. Everything is probably 14 count. So I would like to get the next one of this series done. I have the rest of this series on my wish list on 123 Stitch, so one day maybe I'll get them all done, but I'm not in that much of a rush to get them all stitched. They're really cute, but they're just not my style, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting the things that you find out about yourself when you don't stitch things that you thought you would stitch. I also have a set of 3. This is, and I know exactly why I haven't been stitching these. It's because it's a set of 3, and this is a commitment if I want to stitch these. It's the Flora McSample 2012 ornaments. They're from Lizzie Kate. They would be super quick and easy to do, but I know once I start one, I have to stitch the rest of them, and I just haven't wanted to have that kind of commitment because I've had that book that has 10 different ornaments in it, and the elves that I just showed you. So I have 2 other ones that I'm already like in the middle of a bunch of ornaments with, and I just haven't wanted to do this one because I haven't wanted to commit myself to doing all 3 at the same time. So instead it's just sitting in my basket completely kitted up, and I still haven't stitched on it anyway. So I might as well try to start them. Sorry. I might as well start them because otherwise they're just going to sit in the same state that they're in now pretty much, except not done. So I might have had to try to convince myself with that one. Oops. They're on 14 count Aida, coffee tea dyed. Pretty simple with just some flosses that I pulled. Usually with my ornaments, I don't do called for flosses. I just use like all the little bits and bobs that I have that are just sitting around anyway. So there's that. Gotta start that one. Those are all the kitted ones that I have. Now let me show you the ones that I haven't kitted, but I have pulled fabric or patterns for that I really want to do. So first of all, I have the 2024 just cross stitch Christmas ornament magazine. I have a whole bunch of tagged, and I went through all of the ornament magazines that I have for Just Cross Stitch, and I think I have the 2023, 2024, and I'm waiting on the 2025 for this one, for this year. This is the only one that I really decided that I really wanted to stitch. I liked all of these, but some of these are more of a commitment than others. Or I just decided I didn't want to stitch them this year. But anyway, so the one that I think I might stitch this year is this one here. I'm trying not to show the pattern. It is Holly Berry Sampler by Curious Carrie Designs. I just think that's super cute. I literally really like the cardinal up in the corner there. And I think the words, the letters will go really quick. So I think my criteria for an ornament usually is how quick can I get this one done. And if it's big, but it's like sparse, it can get done, I feel like. But if it's small and really packed in there, I'm not considering it an ornament because I'm not going to be able to get that one done pretty quickly. So that's just my like little criteria for my own stuff. Then I also have, this is another pattern by Melissa at Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. This is the other one that is part of that Barnyard Christmas, I think it's called, series. So I have that one still to do. Then I think that's it. It's those two left, and then I think that's it for that series. Then this is a free pattern by Kate Stitcher, I think. This is her gingerbread mug. I've done one of these mugs before, and I didn't do the whole border and the little steam coming out. I just did the cup, and it turned out so stinking cute that I really want to do all the rest of them now. This is another one. This is Christmas mug, but it's Santa themed. They're so quick, and I really want to do them. So then this one is by the same Kate Stitcher. She has she has her information there. You can go check out. She has a ton of free patterns, and I love downloading all of them that I can. This one is a North Pole letter. She's done a whole bunch of these letters now. This one is Christmas for Christmas. And last year I found this finishing piece that would have been great for this, and I just didn't get the time to stitch this one. So I definitely want to try to do that one. This is another one by, the rest of these are by Melissa at Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. Yeah, this is called Always Believe. I really like that saying. This is actually also part of the Barnyard Christmas series. I forgot about this one. Christmas on the Farm. It's kind of like the header title for the whole series. So that one would be really quick as well. Then this one is called Itty Bitty Gingerbread Bowl from July 3rd, 2024. She has a bunch of gingerbread themed one as well, and I have not done any gingerbread themed anything yet, so I really want to dive into that a little bit. And then this is called December 25th, 1865, but from November 14th, 2024, and it says December 25th, 1865, St. Nick. Super, super quick. That would be so quick. And if by some miracle I get all of them done, I have binders full of more patterns that I can pull out. So those are my ornament options. And I will definitely be diving into, I guess I can talk about plans a little bit. Like I said, October, I'm going to see where the rest of the month takes me. I'm going to start doing some ornaments. Obviously, I still have to work on my model stitching, and that's going to be consistent forever. So I'm going to be working on my model stitching, and I'm going to start some ornaments. And if possible, I'll probably pull out doubles a couple more times. I'll probably pull out the Nature's Journey. Yeah, Nature's Journey a couple more times. And if I get into November and I'm really getting into the Christmas spirit, which I'm like half in Christmas spirit because I've been listening to Christmas music since June and I've been watching Christmas videos, but right now I'm for some reason and like in this little lull where I'm like, I'm into fall right now, and I'm kind of like putting Christmas aside a little bit, which is kind of sad because Christmas is actually coming, but that usually happens with me. I'll dive back into it in November, hopefully. So yeah, those are my stitching plans. The other kind of plan I have, which is UFO plans. I have never UFO'd a project before, so that was kind of scary for me. So I showed you the piece that I turned into 4th of July. In my whips, I had considered that part of a series in my whips, and normally with series, I can't put them off of my whip list until the whole series is done. And for this one, I had, this was the pattern, real quick. That's what I'm talking about. So that was called Spring Farmhouse from 2021. That is part of a series where there are 3 spring ones. There's also this little pasture one. It's called Spring Farm Pasture. And then there is Spring on the Farm, which is the barn. So there's those 3. And then there's a summer version. Where's the barn, the house, and the pasture. And the difference between them is very, very slight. So like it's basically spring and summer with kind of little differences between them, but not very much. So I didn't know that when I was kitting it all up and putting it all together until I like sat down and really looked at them. And I didn't know that. I had planned on putting them all out together. And then I was like, oh cool, okay, it's spring and summer, then I can do them kind of separate. And then it kind of, I just never really wanted to work on them for some reason. It was too daunting that I had 6, and then I even stuck another pattern in there, which is this little one for, it's called, it is too blurry, I cannot read it. It's like a hen house. I had stuck that one in there because it's by the same person, so it just became too daunting of a whip, and I decided that I am not keeping these all together. My favorite way of doing Melissa at Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting's patterns is I put them on, even if it's in the same series, I put them all on different fabrics. I use all different flosses, and I just stitch them as I stitch them, and they don't have to match for me. So that's what I decided I am going to do. I'm going to put all of these patterns back on my shelf. I don't need them kitted up for now. Just I'll keep the fabric with them, but I'm going to put these back on my shelf, and this will be a problem if I ever want to pick one up, then I can pick one up, and that is okay with me. So that is something that I am UFOing, but I'm kind of not really UFOing them because I didn't start them yet. I'm just taking them off my whip list now that I have one done. Taking them off. They're done. So there's that. And then this one I am definitely UFOing. This is a free pattern. It's by Nora Corbett. It is called Mia Mermaid. It is the 2017 Australian Mirabilia Retreat pattern. And it's a mermaid. And I did not use the called for flosses and beads and all that kind of stuff. So this is as far as I had gotten. I believe that's the front. So it's like part of her abdomen and then some beads. And I just decided I don't want to work on this. I never pull it. This is my start on it, and then I never did anything else. I really love the fabric that I made for this one, but I just don't want to work on this one at all, and I am okay letting this one go for now. I'm going to take all the stitches and the beads out, and I'm going to keep the fabric with the pattern, and if one day in the future I decide I want to get all the called for stuff for it, then I think I'm going to be a lot happier with it. But for now, I don't know that I even have enough beads to be able to work on it, and they're beads that I don't even know what they are from, so it's like leftover beads. So I'm just kind of letting this one go and taking it off my whip list and just being done with it because I don't even want to look at this one anymore, and that's okay. This is like the first true UFO project that I have ever had, so which is kind of sad, but it had to happen. I have a really big pile on the floor now. Okay. I have haul. For being two months away, it's a pretty small haul. I'm just gonna start pulling things. I've got most of this from Michael's, except for like one thing pretty much. And then I have my Just Cross Stitch magazine. So I try to buy things on clearance or on a really good sale. So most of this I got pretty cheap. So don't be looking at this and be thinking that I just spent a whole lot of money, because I did not. Most of this is on clearance, I think. So I found this little strainer, and my thought with this, there were two different colors, and I really liked the other color. I think it was like a pink or green or something. Can't remember. But I decided to get the white because it's more versatile for a lot of different seasons. And my thought with this, it's a small strainer, is I make probably crochet different fruits or like vegetables or something for the different seasons in here. So like for fall, I would crochet a bunch of apples and have like a little pile of apples in here. Or I could do like a bunch of strawberries or blueberries or mixed berries or something like that. I could do lemons. There was a yellow one. I could do there was a yellow strainer, and that's how I got the idea of like putting a whole bunch of lemons in here, like crocheting lemons. Or I can even do felt lemons. That would be cool too. Or oranges, or, you know, something for the different seasons or holidays or something. I think that would be really cute. Like put this on like middle of your dining table or something like that, you know, in your hutch or something. I don't know. But I think that would be a really cool, cute little display. And it's another craft that I can do because I really love my crafts, and I love crocheting, and I'm trying to get, I'm trying to use up some of my yarn that I have. I have a big yarn collection that I inherited. So I'm trying to find ways to use my yarn up, and I really want to make like little amigurumi pillows and stuff. So I think that would be a good way to use this little strainer, and I think it was such a cute little idea. So I have that, and it comes with a project, of course. I was also at Michael's and I saw this really pretty ribbon. It's got leaves. I don't know if it's going to focus. It has leaves at the top and at the bottom, and then it's kind of like a straight line across in the middle. What got me was the color. I love this color so much. It is one of my favorite colors, and I decided it wasn't the best sale, but it was a good sale, and I decided I will find something to use this for because that is my favorite color, and I had to get it. And next, I have these wood leaves. I need these for a, I figured something out. I need this for one of my models, I think. I can't even remember at this point, but I know I got this for a certain reason for one of my models. So I got those. And then this is the only thing that I probably bought that was regular price. This is also for some of my models for next year. A little sneak peek, I suppose. But this I did pay full price, which was only, I don't even know how much. It doesn't have a price on it. It was like $2 or something, but I needed those for a model, and that was very important that I had to get those. I also got, whoops, this little sign. It's a tabletop tailgate sign. It's a football themed, and this football themed ribbon. So this is actually going to be a gift for my cousin who really loves football, and she really loves cross stitching. So I'm going to get Stitching with the Housewives have these round football themed projects, patterns, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna, one of them is gonna fit on here, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna make it fit. So I'm gonna gift her the pattern and these to go with it. And I think she'll really like that. Her birthday is in November, so I think she's really gonna like that. So that's for a gift. And then if you remember in probably my last video, I had found these chairs from Michael's, and they had a red one and they had a white one, and I picked up the red one, and I decided I don't care that I have a chair addiction. I'm gonna find a use for it. And it was a really good deal, but they only had the red or the white one, and I decided to get the red one. And then, because they didn't have the blue one at my Michael's, and then I went into a different Michael's a couple weeks ago, and I found the blue one, and now I'm kind of wishing that I had also gotten the white one. And then I could have done the red, white, and blue chairs, and then I was thinking of doing like a pillow that says U, and then one that says S, and then one that says A. I thought that would be a really cute idea, but I only have the red one and the blue one now. But I think, I feel like I remember seeing a pattern that has two little pillows, that one says stars and stripes. No, the one that says stars and one that says stripes. So I think I might get that, and if I'm just imagining something, I might design it myself to put on these little chairs. I think that would be a really cute 4th of July display piece. And I do have a chair addiction, because you'll see at the end of my video I'll post some pictures and videos of my display behind me and my Halloween display. I have a chair in there that my Scarecrow Sam sits on, and I do have quite a bit of chair addiction. Oops. But it's so cute, and I got it really cheap, so I got that. And then I got this. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Ollie's. It's like a store where they buy stuff that's like an overstock store, or like out of season stuff or something like that. And they buy it and then they sell it really cheap. So this was supposed to be $10, and I got it for $6. But I just really liked this tree, and as soon as I saw this, I remembered this pattern by Melissa at Pink Room Pumpkin Quilting, that is this tree with the alphabet on it, and I thought maybe that would look cute on here. So I got it just to try it, and then I'm looking at it like I was looking at it earlier. I'm not sure if it's even gonna fit on here, because it's a pretty skinny tree, but I will try and see. If not, I can always use it for something else, but that's what I saw immediately when I saw this tree, and maybe, who knows. And then my last piece of haul is the Just Cross Stitch Autumn Fall magazine for 2025. And I have not looked at this in a while, but I will show you some projects that I think I would really like to do. This is the Falling Leaves sampler, excuse me, by Saving Grace's Fine Needle Arts, and I really fell in love with this one. I think it's gorgeous, and I would definitely love to be able to stitch this one. I think it's really pretty, and I really love the saying that's on it. And then let's see if I can show you at least one more. Oh, here's the Nature's Journey Autumn. I really love those colors. I love those colors, and I really like the skull that's around by all the mushrooms. I don't know why, I think that's really cool. Let's see, one more. Too many that are good. I'll show you this one. This one's Pilgrim Pear by December Stitches, and I really like that one as well. I don't have a lot of Thanksgiving themed stuff, so that would be a good one to add as well. But that is my magazine, and I believe that's everything. I'm over, oh my god, I'm almost at an hour and a half. This is probably my longest video, besides my ornament video, which you guys can go check out if you want. I'll try to remember to link it down below, but that's a lot of stuff to share. It has been 2 months since my last video. I don't know when my next video is going to be, but I am going to have a lot of ornaments to show you, hopefully. I'll at least have 3 more ornaments to show you. Life updates, not really much that I can talk about. Just very crazy busy. Nothing I really want to get into right now, but today I have some of my cats, my barn cats, are off getting fixed. So I was able to work from home this week, luckily. But I had to catch 6 cats. And that was a little bit difficult. So that was my day yesterday. And they're off at the vet right now. And they will be coming back around like 5 tonight. So they'll be fine. It's just a little nerve-wracking having them go off and be in somebody else's hands for a couple hours, but I'm sure they'll be fine because all the other cats have been fine. But I don't really have anything else to share. Just check out my Facebook page if you're interested. Check out my Instagram page. Sign up for my newsletter if you're interested. That's how you can keep in contact with me when I'm not here and I'm not able to make any videos for a while. But yeah, I hope you all have a very happy Halloween if you celebrate Halloween. I don't usually do anything because we don't get any trick-or-treaters, and I'm not a very big Halloween person. I do decorate though. I really like decorating. But happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you before Thanksgiving. I will be decorating for Christmas Thanksgiving nights. And I will be making pies before Thanksgiving. I'm always in charge of baking pies. My grandma taught me how to bake pies from scratch, so that is something that I will be doing for sure this year again. And if I don't see you before Christmas, which I hope I'll be back before then, but if I don't see you before Christmas, have a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. I'm really hoping to be back before then, but just in case I'm not. Anyway, keep in contact with me if you can, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!